So they lined up for the Everready Derby. Leicester nearest to us on Hokusai. That's it. Keith Brown has them away. A pretty level break. Tactically very significant through the first quarter mile. And as they break away and begin this surprisingly sharp climb of the first turn, and it's Mystiko the leader. Mystiko is taking them, and it's Mystiko leading from Aracat. Generous place third. Sire, Gdansk 4. Hector Protector for France in 5. And Hokusai steaming through on the inside 6. Corrupt is 7. And Marju and Muchasif bid division with Aylsham. An Environment Friend and Hunter and Toulon is the back marker, and they've gone through the first quarter mile. And it's Mystiko the leader. Mystiko the leader by length to Aracat, a gap of 3 then to Generous and Hokusai third and fourth, with up on the outside of these racing Hunter, and then behind these comes Star of Gdansk. Marju is mid-division. Toulon is still last and first, and so too is Corrupt as they go through the first half mile. And it's Mystiko the Guinness winner as they pass the mile post. Mystiko leading with Aracat up on the outside, and showing third next to the rails is Hokusai in the white cap on the outside. Hector Protector, Environment Friend, the grey, is on the outside of the pack. Star of Gdansk, big division, Mujasif, Marju, the rail, Corrupt, put to sleep at the back, and they go to the top of the hill. And as they come past the halfway stage, it's Mystiko blazing a trail. Aracat, the pacemaker for Toulon, can't keep with him. A gap of 2 lengths. Toulon's second last. They begin the descent and they go past the halfway stage, and Mystiko the leader by a neck to Aracat, showing in second, and Generous third, and Hector Protector 4. And then behind these, Hokusai the rail 5. Marju sneaks up on the inside 6. Aylsham gets closer, and then Star of Gdansk, and these are followed by Hunter and Mujasif, and Toulon and Corrupt still nearer last and first as they come down past Tattenham Corner, and Leicester's trying to get a bit closer, and Hokusai, Environment Friend, gets reminders, and Toulon is still last as they begin the descent now and start the turn in. Marju is tailed off, and it's Mystiko in front, but here comes Generous in the dark green jacket. Hokusai the rails making significant progress, and then Hector Protector, Aylsham with a run. Toulon on the wide outside of the pack. They've got 2 furlongs to go, but it's Generous now the leader, but Hector Protector on the outside comes with a run. They're inside the final quarter mile, and Generous commits and goes on from Hector Protector. A furlong and a half to go, and it's Generous in the lead from Marju, who's powering through, coming through to second place. They've got a furlong to go in the Everready Derby, and it's Generous and young Alan Munro, and only his second Derby ride clear from Marju in second as they race up towards the line. Generous takes it. Generous is the winner from Marju second. Star of Gdansk comes through to be third. A photo 4 between Hundra and Hector Protector, and then Corrupt followed by Hokusai. Aylsham, Toulon never went on the track. Mystiko only beat 3 home, and they were Environment Friend, and then Aracat, and last of all was Mujasif that dropped out to be tamely last of all, and was last for a long way. And so the result of this, the Everready Derby, it's gone to number 4, Generous, in the colours of Fard Salman. This one trained at Watcombe by Paul Cole and ridden by young Alan Munro on only his second Derby ride. Generous, the 9-1 winner. The second horse home is number 9, Marju, the mount of Willie Carson, in the colours of Hamdan Al Maktoum, trained at Arundel by John Dunlop. And number 9, Marju, was second. Third horse home for me was number 12, Star of Gdansk, nosing into the frame on the line in the colours of Mr. Henry de Kwiatowski, trained in Ireland by Jim Bolger and ridden by Christy Roach. It's desperately close call for 4th place. We'll leave that one to the judge, but the winner is number 4, Generous, bred at the Barrett Stand Stud. Well done to them and all their team. But here he comes, Generous, a son of Caerleon, out of a mare called Duff the Derby, and here's number 4, Generous, coming back to the winner's enclosure. A great ride by Alan Munro. Let's see him do it again.
And what a marvellous opportunist ride, and what a fine result, because no doubt about this being a substandard derby now. The winners won by a long way, and the second was a good way ahead of the rest. Alan Munro in 3rd place there, just drawing up to Aracat, the pacemaker. Mystiko, who's made the running, doesn't, I'm afraid, maintain his gallop. He doesn't get the trip, but Generous does.
Oh, the writing was on the wall from beginning into the home turn. Really, Alan Munro's only just picked him up hands and heels here. Just look behind, all the others are just trailing in his wake, and the further he goes, the farther he's winning. Paul Cole, this has just put the icing on the cake. Had a great year last year. Won the St. Leger with Snurge, won the Irish Derby's had a really great time with the last 2 seasons. One's got to feel a little bit sorry for Richard Quinn, who lost his job with Foul Salmon early on, done a lot of the work on this horse, but Alan Munro's given him a peach of a ride, second winner of the afternoon, and by far the most important. Oldest horse in the race too, Generous, age playing its part. And Marju ran a blinder to be second. Well, Mystiko looked to be running away, turning for home. And whether he didn't get the trip or whether his bruised foot was playing him up, I don't know. Michael Roberts got him quite smartly. Looks sound enough there.
Generous has returned the 9-1 fifth favourite. It did touch 10-1 here on the course. The second, Marju, is a 14-1 chance. And the third, Star of Gdansk, also returned at 14-1. They sent Corrupt and Toulon off the 4-1 joint favourites, but that Generous, only the third horse in history to be fourth in the 2,000 guineas and win the Derby. Barham did it in 1930, Papyrus in 1923. Old-timers remember that. They'll be on Generous.
And delighted, understandably delighted, Alan Munro. What a day for him. Who knows, maybe we're seeing the next Lester Piggott, because Alan is at the start of his career, has just got the job as retained jockey to Prince Fahd Salman, and ever since he got that job, he's been wonderfully successful. As John said, real sadness and sympathy will be felt everywhere for Richard Quinn, who's done so well so often in these colours. But let's hear the welcome. Prince Fahd Salman, the nephew of Khalid Abdallah, the other tremendously successful owner, whose Toulon, in fact, didn't act on the track at all, or didn't appear to, it seemed to me. But we shall now have to get used to, and we won't find any difficulty getting used to, Alan Munro's American-style whip action and his wonderfully stylish crouch. He gets marvellously low in and streamlined, John.
Extremely polished, very dedicated. He's smiling, and somebody else would be smiling. It would be Hamish Alexander who bought this horse, and who's got a full brother to him at home already. So I just think he's got a grin from ear to ear.
Yes, he cost 200,000 Irish punts as a yearling, having only cost 80,000 Irish punts as a foal at the Irish National foal, and then the breeding stocks, the Cartier Million sale, he was sold for 200,000 guineas to Prince Salman.
And incredibly successful, this team. We've said it before, they don't have an awful lot of horses in training compared with Sheikh Mohammed and Hamdan Al Maktoum, but incredibly successful. Anthony Penfold, along with Paul Cole, and one or two others, do a really good job at buying the yearlings. And certainly been extremely successful over the last 5 or 6 years.
So nearly successful in the world's most valuable race, in the Breeders' Cup, when Ibn Bay was only just touched off on Breeders' Cup day. Well, this is a great triumph for Coolmore, where the Nijinsky horse, Caerleon, stands. Generous is Caerleon's best son to date, but the female line is a very distinguished one too, because it's a family which has produced fillies and racehorses as distinguished as the great Triptyque, the late and much lamented Triptyque, and Trillion, her dam. Very many winners, in fact, come from that female line, and the Grand Dame was a distinguished German mare, Margaretten.
Can I get out? Yeah. You're going now.
It's Anthony Penfold just standing with her back to us. Certainly a popular winner in the Lambourne area, this. It worked particularly well at Newbury just a short time ago with some older horses, Zoman and Half a Tick, and other horses that have been running particularly well. Very strongly fancied indeed. Taking it all in as he's standing there. Certainly the easiest Derby winner we've seen for a while. Let's have a look at his starting price.
First, number 4, Generous at 9 to 1. Second, number 9, Marju, 14 to 1. And third, number 12, Sire of Gdansk at 14 to 1 again. The joint favourites were number 2, Corrupt, and number 13, Toulon, both at 4 to 1. And the tape returns win £11.20. Places 370, 330 and £2.20. The dual forecast came to £77.70. Trio came to £326.70 and 13 rand.